Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 1st October 2025. So let's get started with our discussion. Let us see the first article. So if you see this image which mainly shows about one important folk festival of state of Telangana. So if you're getting this folk related art, festivals, fairs or whatever it may be, it is very important under this art and culture. Okay, and this art and culture is there in your GS paper 1. And actually, if you see the syllabus of UPSC means, it will start with this art and culture, guys. And from this area, you can expect prelims and as well as mains based question. So you have to be very careful with this kind of images which appears in your newspaper. And that too, this image appeared in the front page of our Hindu, guys. So if you see some facts regarding this festival Bathukamma, it is a colorful, spectacular Telangana's women's festival actually. And actually this celebration represents the culture of this Telangana state. And normally this festival is celebrated in the later half of monsoon season, that too before arrival of winter. And normally in monsoon season, Telangana will get good enough of rainfall, and because of this fresh water ponds and there will be increased flow of water in the water bodies. And even during this period, wild flowers they bloom. Okay, and actually they'll use certain flowers like gunugu pulu, tangadu pulu. They're very most common flowers will be used in this making of Bathukamma. And not only that, but even other flowers like banti, chemanti, nandi vardhanam. So different flowers they can use. And actually this is mainly celebrated by Telangana's women, and actually it mainly proclaims the beauty of nature. And they will make this series of different flowers into one pile, and after that making of this flower layer they will be keeping one buddhima. Buddhima is made up of mainly the turmeric, and actually it is considered as the goddess of Gauri, that is nothing but Mother Durga. And finally they will immerse this Bathukamma in this nearby water body so that it will purify this water. Okay, so in this way you have to remember about this. And next article says that Trump gives Hamas an ultimatum to respond to his Gaza ceasefire plan. So this article is talking about Gaza ceasefire. So actually, you know that Israel-Gaza issue which is going on, it is not at all a new issue. It was like past from 4 to 5 decades onwards, this issue is going on, right? So this article is especially saying that US wants to stop this kind of issues across the world. And you know that Russia-Ukraine war is also going on. To stop this, this US came up with this Russian Sanction Act of 2025. And under this, US started imposing tariffs on different countries who are purchasing oil and as well as energy from Russia. So that it wants to hit this Russia economically bad. In the same way, to stop this Israel-Gaza issue, so here US came up with this Gaza ceasefire plan. So let us see this. And this topic is very important from IR point of view, from GS paper 2, guys. And you may expect mains based question, and from prelims also you can expect a question like which are the following countries sharing boundary or else nearby water bodies. So you have to see map regarding this prelims, guys. Very, very important. So if you see the context, it says that US President Donald Trump, in coordination with Israeli Prime Minister, he came up with 72-hour or 3 to 4 days ultimatum to Hamas to accept a newly proposed 20-point peace plan for Gaza. So actually, US came up with this 20-point peace plan and also said that Hamas have to accept it within 3 to 4 days. And what are the motivations behind this ultimatum? The first one here is US came up with its own policies. So as you all know that Trump 2.0 era started. So in this Trump 2.0 era, he wants to focus on protectionism. He wants to maintain trade balance with the countries. And even US wants to be a big power or a big brother. So as part of that big brother attitude, so US wants to end this kind of wars. So actually here, if you see, Trump main aim is to project strength on foreign policy. And he wants to appeal to his pro-Israel base, and he wants to address even humanitarian crisis, because recently UN said that yes, there are starvation related deaths are happening, and even UN also said that it is genocide in Gaza. So that means it is violating this human rights. So on one side, US wants to support this Israel, and also another side they want to address this humanitarian crisis as well. So this is the one thing actually which mainly showcased that Trump was repeatedly tied to the resolution of this war because of this legacy. And this one here is alliance with Israel. So US is also having good alliance with Israel. So facing domestic protests and as well as ICC warrants, so US wants to resume these operations, and as well as it's want to go for ending of this war, especially because of this good relations which is having with Israel. It wants to support this. And this one is regional diplomacy. To, Trump is leveraging improved US Arab ties. So recently they came up with this Abraham Accord. So they want to isolate this Hamas. So even mediators like Qatar, they face heightened pressures to deliver as Gulf states they tire of funding reconstruction, as well as they're also like tired because of this endless conflict. So actually everyone wants to come up with a solution for this Israel Hamas issue. And not only that, Trump also had been criticized for his weakening of its position, especially peace through strength, everything during this Biden period. So he wants to showcase that he is very strong and he wants to end this. So because of this, they came up with this ultimatum. So if you see this image, which mainly is showing about aerobatic exercise, so actually this name is Suryakiran aerobatic team, which is mainly showcasing our India's Air Force technology by using Hawk Mk132 jets in Mysore. So actually there is air show in this Mysore. So actually Mysore is very famous for celebrating of Dasra festival. So in this part of this event in Mysore, they came up with this aerobatic show, and it's mainly called as Suryakiran aerobatic team is doing this. So you may get a prelims based question here, and this topic is important from GS paper 3 under defense point of view, guys. Now let us see the some facts here. The team was formed in 1996 with Kiran Mk2 aircrafts, and actually it came up in year 2011 like that, and even it had been revived in year 2015 with heart trainers. And if you see the features, it is also known as 52 Squadron, the Sharks, which is based in Bidar, Karnataka. Since its inception, so it had been done around more than 600 displays across the year or around the country. And also it is very famous because it also represented India across Southeast Asian countries including China. So now let us say the next article, guys. Title says India got 8% more monsoon rainfall this year, says IMD. So this article is very important. If you see the keywords, first one is monsoon, which is important from your GS paper 1 under geography. And next keyword here is IMD, that is Indian Meteorological Department. So if you see this monsoon in your GS paper 1 under geography, especially in your Indian geography, you'll be studying about this monsoon. Monsoon is nothing but whenever there is shifting of ITC towards northwards, it will go exactly over this 22.5 degrees north. Here we can see low pressure area because of high temperature. So if you say this is equator, so here normally winds will move from high pressure to low pressure. It is according to normal lag. It is according to pressure gradient force. According to pressure gradient force, always wind moves from high pressure to lower pressure. So here from equator, the winds will be moving like this and they will be entering into India and they will cause rainfall. This is called as monsoon. Okay, monsoon and rainfall. So actually this year we got 8% of more monsoon rainfall. So if you see this infographic, it says that monsoon rains are uneven across India with reservoirs filling in some regions where others are facing dry spell. So especially northwestern part like Rajasthan, which have 27% of more rainfall than compared to that of 2001. And even central India and South Peninsula see above average of 15% and 10% higher than the seasonal average. And in eastern part and northeastern part, we have certain deficit. It is receiving just 80% of rainfall, and it is lowest compared to that of in from 1901 onwards. It is lowest in this eastern and southeastern part. So if you see the map of India now, so which areas got good rainfall? So this area, southern part and northwestern part got this good rainfall, but here eastern and northeastern part they have deficit rainfall. So by comparing this, where you can use this data, whenever you're writing about any answer regarding rainfall or monsoon, you can use this data. Like there is uneven rainfall in our country. And even whenever you're talking about water harvesting system, now it is required in this eastern and northeastern part because of low rainfall, which had been recorded in this 2025, which said by IMD. So in this way, you can use this data in your answer writing. It is very, very important. Okay. And here what all you have to see is you have to open your monsoon chapter in your NCERT or in your class notes, and you have to see what is this meaning of monsoon, and you have to see what are the factors which are affecting the rainfall in this monsoon season. And next you have to see about what are the different mechanisms for this monsoon, and you have to see what are the advantages of this monsoon, and you have to see what is the impact of climate change on monsoon rainfall pattern in India. So all these areas that you have to see clearly, guys. And now let us see the next article. Title says Center directs NGOs to seek FCRA renewal 4 months before expiry. So this article is very important from GS paper to under governance point of view, guys. So here you have to see about what are these NGOs, why this NGOs formed. You have to see about NGO movement in India, and you have to know about some famous NGOs in India which are actually doing good work in different fields. And you have to make a note of the list of NGOs which are doing it. So recently, one NGO, woman, okay, I can't remember that right now. So recently, one NGO got this Ramson Magsaysay award that is related to women only. So especially because of that NGO, around 2 crore children who are dropouts are going back to the school. So like that, you have to say significant work which is done by these NGOs. And next, you have to see what are the eligibility criteria to form an NGO, and what kind of permissions or certificates or like registrations they have to take. So one such a registration is FCRA, Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. If that NGO is receiving any foreign funds, it has to be registered under this FCRA. So now let us see what is FCRA, how it is controlling NGO, everything. It is very important. So you may get even mains based question regarding this, guys. Okay. So if you see this Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, it was enacted in year 1976 during emergency period. So 1975, it was a deadly time, right? So India was under national emergency. So after that, to govern, to accept, and to utilize this foreign contributions by individuals and as well as associations and as well as organizations in India, so government came up with this enactment of this FCRA. It ensures that such contributions are used only for legitimate purposes and do not compromise the national interest. And if you see the amendments, it was amended in year 2010 and 2020 to ensure transparency and to prevent the misuse of these foreign contributions in India. So actually, once you get your NGO registered on this FCRA, it is valid for 5 years, and you have to go for renewal before 6 months of expiry. Now they are saying that before 4 months of expiry, at least you have to go for renewal. So in 2020, what are the amendments we did? So here MH, that is Ministry of Home Affairs, empowered to suspend an NGO registration up to 360 days. If there are any violations in this FCRA, now Ministry of Home Affairs can suspend this registration of this NGO. And this one is they made Aadhaar identification mandatory for all office bearers, directors, or any other key functionaries of NGO. And next one here is this amendment also prohibits public servants to form or to receive foreign contributions. And next one here is NGO now registered to use only a minimum of 20% of foreign funds for their administrative purpose, not more than that. And earlier they used to use 50% of funds for their administrative expenses, but now it had been reduced to 20%. And next one is there is a clear-cut prohibition on sub-granting. Like NGOs who are receiving these foreign funds, they are prohibited from transferring of these funds to another NGOs or any other entities. And this one is NGOs are required to open a designated FCRA account at a branch of only SBI in New Delhi. Then only they can receive this foreign funds. And the applicant must not represent any fictitious entities or engage in religious conversions. And there should be no history of any communal tension, disharmony, or sedative activities like that. And FCRA also bars this foreign funds for candidates, journalists, media, judges, government servants, politicians, and political organizations. So these are some important things that you have to remember. And now let us see the next article. Title says over 1.73 lakh killed in road accidents in 2023. 1.6 percentage of rise, says NCRB. So NCRB came up with data. NCRB is nothing but National Crimes Record Bureau. So this National Crime Records Bureau says that there are more than 1.73 lakh people they were killed and 4.47 lakh injured in road accidents in our country in 2023. So actually in this number 46% of these victims they are belonging to this two-wheeler. So here what you have to see is you have to see the first one. Already we came up with the data. 1.73 lakh people are dying every year in 2023. And you have to see about why, what are the reasons behind these road accidents. And next you have to see what are the government measures so far to control these road accidents. And as youth, you have a new good blood, good ideas, good innovations. So you have to recommend some suggestions for the government to control these road accidents. And you have to see what is the impact of these road accidents. If road accidents are happening, can we increase the trust? Can we show the soft power? No. What happens here is many people they lost their life. There is increasing of burden on their family, increasing of the burden on their government. Everywhere it is causing chaos. So here this article is saying one thing clearly, around 58.6% of cases they are attributed to speeding. There is increased speed, and even without having this driving license, people will be driving this vehicles on the road. And next one here is drunk and driving is also an important problem. Dangerous driving and even overtaking will also cause 23.6% of deaths in India. And even especially in the Delhi season, okay, Delhi region, during this winter season, we have this fog. So because of poor weather, because of driving under the influence and animal crossings, so because of this also it is causing accidents. So you have to control these things. So to control these problems like speeding, or to control these problems like dangerous driving, overtaking, animal hits, animal crossing, or drunken driving. So what are the steps we can take? So think and tell me in the comment box, guys. Okay. And now let us see the next article. Title says crime against children records 9.2 percentage rise in 2023. Again, one more report which came up by the same thing, that is NCRB, and this is telling that yes, crimes against children is rising in India. And here this article is important from GS paper to under polity because it can be covered under this right against exploitation and fundamental rights, and even it is having impact on the society. It can study under society, and even it can have impact on our economy. So from GS paper also we can study this. And this data that you can use directly while writing your mains, and as well as even in essay also you can use this topic. Okay, now let us see the context. According to NCRB, that is National Crime Records Bureau, annual report had been released, and this report says that crimes against children in India had been increased by 9.2% in 2023. And if you compare with this 2022, in 2022 it was like 1,62,000. Now it had been increased to 1,77,000. Overall, there is increase of 9.2% of rise in cases. So it translates to an average of 486 cases per day and a national crime rate of 39.9 cases per 1 lakh child population. So compared to the previous, it was like 36.6% increase. And majority of cases which are mainly seen in two categories. First one is kidnapping or abduction. Second one is for sexual offenses. Okay, and other crimes can also seen like murder, assault, child marriage, child labor violations, etc. So in our country, in Madhya Pradesh, we have highest absolute cases, and second place is Maharashtra, and third place is Uttar Pradesh case. And if you see in other areas like Delhi, also it had been recorded more, and Andaman Nicobar also it is raised, and not only that, even in Assam also. In all these areas, there is a very high cases. You have to see what are the reasons behind it. What are the measures taken by the government? And what is the way forward, guys? So if you see the factors which are responsible for rise, the first one is nowadays there is increased awareness and as well as reporting. So because of the stricter implementation of this POCSO Act, that is Prevention of Children from Sexual Offence Act, so it includes mandatory reporting under child protection laws. That led to higher defection as well as higher rates of registration of cases. And as well as there is also increased public campaigns, school programs also encourage the families to report abductions, assaults. And next one here is because of rapid urbanization, migration, economic distress, that is also exacerbating this risk like child labor and abduction for marriage. So in some states like MP and UP, poverty-driven child trafficking is happening, especially for begging or domestic work. And next one is even there is very high risk of online exploitation. So increased access to this digital gadget among the children, which also led to increasing of cyber-enabled sex offenses. Okay, so these are the major reasons, guys. And now let us see the next article. Title says labor of care. Women who facilitate rural health care should get better wages. So actually this article is talking about ASPs in Maharashtra. Very, very important. So ASPs are nothing but Asha Kalin Sri Parichars. Okay. Okay, it is Ansha Kalin Sri Parichars in Maharashtra. From decades onwards, you are performing one of the hardest and yet they are least acknowledged people in India. So especially they are working as labor in this rural health system. So actually they have their wide responsibility regarding this healthcare, but their monthly wages are stagnated at just 3,000 rupees since 2016 onwards. So now we are in this decades of inflation, and there is also lack of job security, pension, safety gear. There is no proper travel allowances. So even though those people are not getting the proper wages. So actually in 2023, we came up with this Protection of Minimum Wages Act, but these people had been left behind. Okay, so actually the state has even now only promised them 6,000 rupees a month by December 2025, and even though it is very much less compared to that of other healthcare workers. And actually we have this ASHA workers. So actually this ASPs, that is nothing but Ansha Kalin Sri Parichars, they will predate this ASHA workers and Anganwadi workers. And actually they had been easy to ignore because they are very poor, they are rural women, and because of this neglecting these people, so we can understand that there is gender based discrimination as well as caste inflicted hierarchy of labor within this public health also. Actually they were skilled work which is having low status, and as well as they are devalued because of who performs it. That is one important problem here. So this article is saying that under this National Rural Health Mission, under this Minimum Wages Act, so these people need to get the proper salary, guys. Okay, so what is your opinion? Whether these people who are working in different fields, like for example, if I tell what kind of work they'll do here is they will provide community health related updates, and they also deliver this maternal, and as well as they also involve in the child healthcare, and they also focus on immunization programs, that is giving of vaccines, and they also focuses on this disease surveillance. And even though they are having no dignity, they are having no minimum wages. It is a practice of exploitation that we can see in this region especially. And actually these women, there is snake bite while clearing hospital grounds, and as well as death in accidents, and they also en route to vaccination duty without incidents or without any compensation. And the health system does not value the people who keep it functional. And because of this, actually these people, they need good recognition, they have to get the minimum condition. So actually this article is saying that to secure this rural health, yes, the rights of those women through this living wages and as safe working conditions and stable environment, and as well as stable employment opportunities are very important, and the government need to ensure them. So these are the things which are said in this article, and these are the important topics that up in now today's Hindi newspaper, guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching, and please do like this class, and I hope you understood my condition where I'm in vacation, but even though I'm recording in this way, actually I want to say one thing today is actually before my kids wake up, I used to wake up and I used to do my content. And today, what happened was like before I waked up, my baby boy, he was wake up and he was sitting on the laptop literally, which is beside me, and he is typing. So I thought that I will not do the class today. So from that time onwards, like I am doing this, I am playing this hide and seek game so that I will make the content. I'll read the newspaper and I will record the video. And while I'm recording, also they are coming and they're like they're knocking the door. So despite of all these things, I am recording this video and I'm publishing this video. I'm publishing this video in YouTube. I hope you guys understand this, whatever the stress or whatever the things that I'm doing here. So please do support me and do share this video to your friends. And one more thing is do subscribe to Rathods Science Academy. Don't forget. Thank you guys.